Hello, the one and only Xylophoney here with the new ARK Survival Evolved Dossier, and you are looking at the new largest creature in ARK, the Titanosaur. Now, yes, this thing is massive. As you can see next to it, there is a shadow of a Giganotosaur, and some tiny little shadows of people down there. Now, the Giganotosaur is massive, way larger than anything I ever expected to see in ARK. Considering that this Giganotosaur is standing as tall as it can and is still not quite as tall as the Titanosaur, this thing is going to be impressive. Every picture on this dossier just suggests this thing is large, and it's going to be very interesting to see it in the game because they're going to do a lot of interesting things with it. Give it the old ARK twist, if you will. So it's not just going to be your average herbivore. It might be a little aggressive from time to time, so let's go into the dossier information and take a look. It is the Titanosaurus vagacastrum. It is from the late Cretaceous, and it is an herbivore. Now, of course, the normal Titanosaurs didn't look exactly like this, but they were still very large sauropods. So let's see what ARK has done with them. Today, I witnessed an unforgettable sight. The extremely rare Titanosaurus, essentially a walking mountain. It is an absolutely enormous sauropod, which has developed armored plates of bone protrusions all over. Between these plates and its unparalleled size, Titanosaurus is extremely difficult to put down. In addition, Titanosaurus seems outright immune to any sort of narcotic effects. They often inadvertently crush nearby creatures underfoot with every step they take. So, that just goes to show how tough these things are going to be. They have bone plates just all over their body, making them look like a mountain. Just like rock armor almost, but it's made of their own bone, so it kind of makes more sense, don't worry. And they are not affected by tranks. So how you're going to manage to tame one of these guys may be very interesting. I would definitely love to see it being necessary to use, maybe not slingshots, but catapults to knock these guys unconscious. That would be something very interesting. I'm sure they'll have an interesting means of doing it, since tranks is usually the best way to knock things out in ARK, but that'll be cool to see. It also says, while most sauropods ignore non-hostile creatures, Titanosaurs take issue with creatures invading its personal space. This is probably because they aggressively feed off any and all plants they can find. Titanosaurus eats constantly, which certainly helps it recover health quickly, even after fighting off numerous carnivores such as Giganotosaurus. Well, there it is. This guy is going to be the natural adversary of Giganotosaurus. In fact, this suggests that it beats them, and then recovers its health pretty quickly by eating everything in sight. Not only that, it's going to be aggressive towards anything that comes too close to it, and considering this thing is a very large walking mountain of sorts, then a lot of things are just going to happen to come close to it. So it'll be very interesting and very terrifying to see. If you do find one, make sure you stay far enough away from it if you're not ready to, die. Anyway, when domesticated, I suspect that a Titanosaur, for all its sheer size, is overkill for a lone rider. Rather, for those elite tribes powerful enough to bend one of these titans to their will, the epic creature is employed as a mobile super fortress, capable of ferrying obscene amounts of weight, structures, defenses, and creatures across the island. Some nomadic tribes even have their main base on the back of a Titanosaur. That makes this guy sound really cool. Now, we've all seen Brachiosaur bases and Quetzal bases. Now, obviously those are more of a moving war base of sorts, but imagine having your entire base on the back of a dinosaur, fully mobile. Now, the question lies if these guys will need a platform saddle, or if you'll just build directly onto their bone plates. It'll be very interesting to see. I can only imagine how much you'll be able to carry with this guy, and I can only imagine how difficult it would get to have your dinosaurs up on top of there. Better put them on passive, or they'll be running off and falling if they are threatened at any point. So just showing here, it says they cannot be tranked, they are very difficult to tame, and they are super tanky. I would imagine that the Titanosaur is going to be the tankiest creature in the game. They're going to have the massive health pool of a Brontosaur, but all of the defensive shielding of a Doedicurus or an Ankylosaur. So it's going to be very difficult to beat, very impressive if anyone does beat it. And I am very intrigued to find out how you do tame one, because it definitely says they are going to be tameable to a certain extent. Just probably the most difficult tame in the game. But anyway, let me know what you guys think of the Titanosaur in the comments down below. Leave a hashtag ARK, of course, with that. And let me know what else you're excited to see added to the game. Thank you everyone for watching, and I'll see you next time.